The most underrated part of any roller coaster, the moment the restraints lock, a voice tells you to hold on tight and the ride actually begins. UK roller coaster dispatch sequences. Some parks treat dispatches like an event, while others feel like a Tesco self-checkout announcement. Today I'm ranking UK coaster dispatch sequences based on how much I enjoy them and how much they make you forget that you've been queuing for 90 minutes next to a loud train lift. Yes, I'm talking to you. Colossus has a very memorable dispatch sequence in my opinion.
Please stand clear, the gates are about to close. Your ride on Colossus is about to begin.
It doesn't really have anything else in the way of effects paired with this though, so it's quite lacking a bit there. Some coasters have full orchestras and smoke effects. Colossus has a guy who says,
"Please stand clear, the gates are about to close,"
and then immediately clocks off for the day. Although this is very memorable, it doesn't really generate too much hype or anticipation, and for that, I'm ranking this a B tier. I haven't ridden Dragon's Fury in a while, but I can't remember it having anything happen as you leave the station. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, but I think for this roller coaster, I'm going to rate it as a D tier. I've never been to Alton Towers, so my rankings for these rides might be a bit unfair. But from watching footage, I don't see anything special with Galacta's Dispatch. Again, a D tier. Dispatch after dispatch with absolutely nothing going on, Mandalorian shows up with the lights, the movement, and it feels like something big is about to happen. And then boom, it launches. There's still no sound. In my opinion, the lighting is quite a nice touch, especially when it's dark out, but it probably only deserves a B tier. This is another ride at Thorpe Park, with a guy who speaks before the ride dispatches, but this time we get the floor disappearing beneath you and the gate at the front of the station drop down. Pretty game changing, should I say? But no, if we're being real, the dialogue isn't as iconic as Colossus's, so I'm giving this a C tier. This nemesis seems to have what its sister's missing, and that's the lights. You heard me right. This is the second coaster on our list to feature lighting effects, and although it's subtle, Nemesis Reborn has lights that flash as you leave the station. Unfortunately, we don't get to have our guy back for this ride. I can't believe that you let us down, Larry. I'm just so disappointed. I'm giving this a B tier. Oblivion is themed around fear, darkness, and the unknown, and its dispatch sequence really leans into that. By doing absolutely nothing. No music, no voice, no drama. Just the sweet sound of disappointment rolling out the station. Another D tier. Rita is the first of two hydraulic launch coasters on this list, and it's probably the worst of the two in terms of dispatch and everything else. I guess you do get some dialogue, which builds up suspense, but if I was to ask any ordinary member of the general public if they could remember what Rita's dispatch dialogue was over stealths, they'd probably come back with, what the actual flip-flop is Rita? I have seen some videos of Smoke. The most recent ones don't seem to show this, and for the guys who haven't been listening, I haven't actually been to Alton Towers, so I reckon a C tier. I know lots of people hate on Saw because of its roughness, but I think we can all agree that Saw doesn't have a very rough dispatch. This Southwest coaster with a soundtrack that plays as you leave the station, and although it's a song from the movies, I get it stuck in my head sometimes and find myself randomly humming it in the most random places. I'd rank this a B tier. Most coasters ease you in. The gates open, the train glides out. Maybe there's some guy droning on over a voiceover. Yes, I'm talking to you, Larry. But Stealth does this, but kind of skips the warning. The lights go red, an S-tier version of Larry prepares to start the race. I can just feel it preparing to launch. You sit down, the lights start to blink, Gary begins his epic voiceover, and in the time it takes you to think, wait, am I ready for this? You're already halfway through the ride. It's not a dispatch, it's a high-speed slap in the face. And what makes this coaster's dispatch so memorable is that unforgettable voiceover, along with the sound of the rollback brake sliding down. Combine this with the smoke effects and the countdown lights, Stealth gets an S tier.
Place your hands back, face forward, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go!
The Swarm is a bit like Colossus and Nemesis Inferno in the way that it has a voiceover, but the thing that sets this coaster apart from them is, correct me if I'm wrong, a short piece of music that appears during and for a short amount of time after the voiceover. This seems to fit into the B tier category. The Smiler's dispatch is really intense. You get hit with enough lights to feel like you're in a dentist chair, and then a voice just casually whispers, "Join us." Like, join you for what exactly? A ride? A cult? Or an exclusive IKEA job interview that you didn't even know you'd signed up for? Jokes aside, although the Smiler is, in my opinion, what looks and sounds like an overrated coaster, its dispatch is not, and for that, it gets an A tier. 13 may not blast music at dispatch, but honestly, it doesn't need to. That eerie voice quietly whispering sets the mood perfectly. It's spooky, subtle, and somehow still totally works. Maybe a B tier. Vampire has a good dispatch considering that it's 35, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the oldest coaster on this list. But don't let its age fool you, as the dispatch on this ride is better than lots you've already seen. With lighting and an overall amazing station design, as well as what sounds like a vampire bidding you farewell as you roll onto the first lift hill, Vampire's dispatch shows that Merlin really cares for this ride. I know this is about its dispatch, but I'm sure you're with me when I say that it's its station music and lights that tie into the experience. I strongly agree that Vampire's dispatch is up there with the Smilers in the A tier category. As I've said, I haven't been to Alton Towers, so don't judge me on this choice, as I can only go off videos I've found, and honestly, speaking only about its dispatch, we get some hard to understand dispatch audio, and that seems to be it. And to let you know, I'm not including its pre-show or story, however I heard great things about this. Wickerman gets a C tier. I'm going to try and stay fair with this, but Hyperia's dispatch is just extraordinary. Before you even get going, you get a voiceover that's supposedly Hyperia. Then, you get countless lighting effects, starting with these 2 LED strips at the front of the station, and then an arrangement of spotlights in the ceiling, smoke effects, a visual effect of Hyperia's wings being forged, and even lights that flash outside the station. But that's only scratching the surface of amazingness, because then you get this epic dispatch music, which really sets the light-hearted fear vibes I feel Thorpe Park was going for with this coaster. S tier isn't even close to describing how amazing the dispatch is of this coaster, so I'm going to have to reward it the Super Amazing Special Found My Fearless Award! And that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the dispatch rankings, or at least got a laugh out of me complaining. If you did, consider checking out some of my other videos, or maybe even subscribe, because there's plenty more coaster nonsense on the way. For those who are interested, I'm going to be creating more of this sort of content from now on, because my Planet Coaster videos weren't really that entertaining. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. Until next time, or the next poorly timed dispatch. Catch you later!